Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack some seriously life-changing ideas from the great philosopher Krishanamurti. We're looking closely at what he believed education should truly be. And spoiler alert, it goes way beyond the four walls of a normal classroom. If you've ever sat in a school desk and felt like, we're missing something absolutely fundamental about the human experience here, you are going to find his perspective absolutely fascinating. So we got to start right at the foundation, with the core question Krishnamurti always posed. What is the true function of education? Just think about that for a second. Is school really just this factory we go to, pass our exams, get a piece of paper, and eventually earn a living? Or is the whole purpose of spending our formative years in a classroom about something much, much deeper?
Well, as you'll see, the answer reveals a massive gap between standard schooling and a truly holistic approach. On one hand, you've got standard education, which, let's be honest, often operates like a machine. Memorize the facts, pass the test, get the job. But Krishnamurti? He believed the main goal is to help students truly understand life itself. It's about developing the whole human being, intellectually, emotionally, morally, and spiritually. It is a completely different paradigm.
Okay, let's look at our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. Mastering the inner self, 2. Awakening true intelligence, 3. Living in the world, and 4. The ultimate goal of it all.
First up, mastering the inner self. This is where true education actually begins.
So Krishnamurti was adamant that the very first function of education is helping a person figure out who they actually are. He called this self-knowledge. He argued that students shouldn't just have their noses buried in books. They should be studying their own minds, confronting their fears, understanding their feelings, recognizing their unique strengths. It's kind of like checking your own internal mirror before you look out the window at the rest of the world. Because without that deep self-knowledge, you can't truly grow into a mature, balanced adult.
The crucial takeaway here is that a truly educated person develops the whole shebang: their body, their mind, their heart, and their character. Education shouldn't just obsess over academic metrics. Think about it. If someone gets perfect grades but completely lacks compassion, are they actually educated? Krishnamurti would say absolutely not. The goal is a complete personality, so a learner becomes not just highly intelligent, but remarkably kind, honest, and sensitive to the world. Now, this contrast is huge. Look at the anxiety of modern schooling on the left versus the creative freedom of a fearless mind on the right. Krishnamurti pointed out a pretty tragic reality. Most students learn under this heavy, constant cloud of fear. Fear of punishment, fear of failing, the crushing pressure of exams, dreading criticism. But real education, it has to free students from all that. Because when a mind is actually free from fear, it can think with absolute clarity. It learns creatively instead of forcefully. And most importantly, it finally has the freedom to discover the truth.
All right, moving to part 2, awakening true intelligence, and how we need to shift the way we think.
So standard education, generally speaking, relies heavily on blind acceptance. It teaches students exactly what to think. But Krishnamurti pushed passionately for independent thinking. He said education should teach students how to think. And that means equipping students with the tools to question literally everything, to investigate deeply, and to understand things for themselves, rather than just blindly accepting what their teachers or society tells them. That independence is the only real path to wisdom.
And that naturally leads us to his incredible definition of true intelligence. For Krishnamurti, intelligence is definitely not just remembering facts or reciting dates from some textbook. Honestly, anybody can memorize. True intelligence comes from careful observation, profound awareness, and actual understanding. Education has to awaken that specific type of intelligence so that when students finally step out into the real world, they can navigate life's messy, complex problems with real wisdom.
Which brings us to part 3, living in the world and impacting society.
Because, let's face it, none of us live in a bubble, right? The aim of education is to build responsible human beings, people who understand their duty to their community, their duty to protect nature, and their obligation to humanity as a whole. Education should be actively instilling core values: honesty, compassion, a deep respect for others. It's all about shaping a citizen who actually adds genuine value to the world around them.
And you can see his step-by-step logic here, showing how ending our divisions is the only way education can actually stop conflict. He noted that wars and strife always start because people let themselves be divided by labels: religion, nationality, class, you name it.
So education has to be the tool that shatters those divisions, promotes real mutual understanding, and ultimately paves the way for peace, love, and global unity.
And finally, part 4. The ultimate goal: education as life preparation.
If you take literally nothing else away from this explainer today, make it this: education prepares students not just for a career, but for life itself. A job is just one tiny slice of our existence. A holistic, whole-life education helps people face life's inevitable curveballs with grace. It helps them make wise choices, build really healthy, loving relationships, and gives them the bedrock to live a happy, fulfilling, and profoundly meaningful life.
It really all boils down to this fantastic quote: "True education leads to freedom, intelligence, and a peaceful society." When education is focused on the total, complete development of a person, the natural byproduct is the betterment of all of humanity. You get free, highly intelligent, and deeply responsible people.
So I'm going to leave you with this to chew on. How can you apply this whole life approach to your own learning right now? Whether you're a student, a teacher, a parent, or just someone who loves to learn, how can you step away from fear and start learning not just to pass a test, but to experience the profound beauty of life itself? Thanks so much for diving into these powerful ideas with me. Keep questioning, keep learning, and as always, keep growing.